Alrighty then. I had to get out here before it got any hotter. It's already getting hot and humid. We're in the dog days of August at this filming. So let's look at a couple of things. First of all, this is the BC deck for the 11-foot Excalibur. Yes, that's right. 11-foot original series Enterprise prop replica. Woohoo! All right, let's have a look at a couple things. First of all, this is an orbital sander. I use this bad boy a lot. In fact, I just put a new bottom pad on here because I had literally tore the other one apart from working with it for 5 years straight. I mean, I got 5 years worth of work out of that one pad. And it just got old and it tore. So I replaced it. And the easiest way to replace it, you've got 4 screws on there. You put 3 screws in, leave 1 out so that you can align everything. Slowly, carefully tighten down each one of your screws. Add your 4th screw, and then tighten one last time in a crisscross pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. Make sure it's good and tight so you don't have it slip off. Now, I was asked to do a sanding demonstration, so I'm going to more or less use this as an example. Now, I've just laid a thick layer of Bondo polyester resin across the BC deck to get a more correct and accurate shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with these sanding pads right here. I'm going to start with 60. See if you can see that. There we go. Start with 60, go to 100, then 150. Then I'll go over it with another finer grade sandpaper or sand grade, whatever. Alright, so there it is. Now, when doing this kind of thing, especially when working with fiberglass resin, this fiberglass resin that you get for boats and motors, like this stuff is toxic. Read and follow the directions on the back. Use a respirator. It is a must. This is a respirator. I've been using this for quite a while now. I need to change both filters here real soon. You must use one of these when dealing with fiberglass because the little bitty fine particles of glass will get in your lungs and cause all kinds of problems and could cause cancer. So, read the directions, follow the instructions, always with this kind of stuff. Now here you can see a couple of different cans of Bondo, more or less all-purpose putty. This is the catalyst for the polyester resin, also known as Bondo. Now this is glazing putty, same as 3M glazing putty. They just switched to Bondo at Walmart, so I picked this up for about $4 or $5. I use a lot of this on my models. I highly recommend this stuff. It takes a little bit of work, but you know what? It's great for filling seams and cracks and adding very fine detail for little bitty stuff. Alright, so there we go. We've got everything ready to go to work on the BC deck. I'm going to take the camera back into the house before it gets any more humid because the lens will fog up and you will not be able to see what I'm doing. Now, I'm going to go ahead and work on this for a little bit. Then I'll show it later. I'll probably show it in the house. Be right back. Okay, I brought the BC deck outside and went after it with the orbital sander with some 60 grit. Now you can see all the layers there. I got it exactly where I want it at this point. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to fill some of these low spots and build up a little bit here along the bottom. As you can see, I'm going to go back over this with another thin layer of polyester or Bondo, fill in these cracks, cut a hole out right here so I can backfill that with some Bondo because this is a high spot and I need to just kind of get rid of that whole section and fill it back in so I can shape it and smooth it. It's a lot easier to shape and smooth and form this polyester than it is the hard fiberglass. At any rate, we'll look at this in just another minute. Okay, as you can see, I've laid a couple of thin layers one over the other, right where I needed it. As soon as this cures, I'm going to come back at it with the Orbital sander, and then I'm going to go at it with finer and finer grit to smooth out half of this and shape it right into the shape I need. So we'll be right back. So here we are. As you can see, I went ahead and sanded it all down, hit it with a couple of coats of primer, and we're just a couple of thin coats of polyester or Bondo, whatever you want to call it. We're just a couple of thin coats away, and then I can start trimming along the bottom, and this is pretty close to being done. I mean, really, it's just a little more polyester and a little more sanding and shaping, and I've got the shape I want and the shape I need at the size that it should be. So there you go. Ho, ho, ho. And here's the bridge. Now, as you can see, I marked a line along here. I'll take the Dremel cut all along the bottom there, along that line, and then I'll lay out some thin layers of Bondo, aka polyester resin, and I'll shape and smooth it, and it will sit directly on top. Obviously, it's out of shape right now, but I have confidence I will get it into shape. Woohoo! All right, let's have a look at a couple of things right now. Now, I want to look at more than one thing, because this is what I've been working on early yesterday morning when it was nice and cool. It is ungodly hot and humid outside right now because, as I said before, we're in the dog days of August. So I wanted to bring some of this stuff in and show it where it's at right now. This is the bottom of the head of the Nomad 1-to-1 that I'm doing a build-up on for a friend. Now, this started out really rough, but it's looking better all the time, and this is nothing more than 110-pound cardstock, fiberglass, and Bondo. This, as you can see here, this is the bridge for the 11-foot model. I did this exactly like I did the BC deck. Nothing more than foam core, paper, fiberglass, and now I'm going to go into the Bondo stage. I've trimmed this up along the bottom, as you can see here. I'm going to fill in all the gaps, and I'm going to shape this to an almost perfect hemisphere with an orbital sander and by hand sanding. Then I will cut a ring out of the top, and that's where the bridge dome will go. This is for the 11-foot Excalibur. Woohoo! 1-to-1, 11-foot model, studio scale prop. And this is the impulse engine. Yes, I know it looks horrible right now, but you know what? I don't have a problem showing works in progress, because that's what this is, a work in progress. When it's done, it will be 100% symmetrical, smooth, and will have the accurate, studio accurate herringbone pattern and the impulse engine holes and the lit impulse engine inside of it. Woo-hoo-hoo! And yes, once again, it's nothing but 20,000 styrene taken from a paper model template and enlarged to full scale. I can't wait to show this when it's done. Or this, or this. And there we are. Keep on trekking, folks.
I'll just keep getting stronger. You know that, don't you?